Good morning, dear students. This is the second video of revision for the chapter 2 geography, and this video is for the student of standard 8. Students, I hope you all are fit and fine and working very hard for your upcoming examination. My best wishes is with all of you, and I hope that you will get good score in your SST examination, and not only in SST, in other examination also. Now just see, today we are going to discuss about land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife. So as I said, this is the revision video. So line by line from the book, I am not going to share with you. This will become one revision for you to understand that what you have read earlier. So check it out. When we talk about the land, so it is among the most important natural resource. So why it is most important natural resource? Because without it, can you imagine your life on the earth? Not at all. Because on land surface only, it is the land which is giving us the food. It is the land where water bodies are there. It is the land which is giving us the valuable minerals. So without land, we cannot expect life on earth. It covers only about 30% of the total area of the earth's surface, and all parts of this small percentage are not habitable. It means somewhere volcanic mountains are there, somewhere water bodies are there. Okay, so these are areas which are not habitable. So understand that we have 30% of land, but everywhere we cannot just settle down. The uneven distribution of population in different parts of the world is mainly due to varied characteristics of land and climate. So both land and climate affects the population, the density of the population. If you compare the population of Rajasthan with the northern part of India, that is our northern plain, Bihar, Odisha, Bengal, UP. So these regions are densely populated in comparison of those regions which is mountainous or which is desert region. So example is given over there, students. You just see. Now common property of resources, that is land can also be divided on the basis of private land and community land. Okay, so what are private land? You know that private land belongs to individual that is your own property, and community property, that is common property resources. That land, these community lands are also called common property land, just like whatever the parks are there, okay, fields are there, so these are the common property. Private property and common property is very easy to understand. The land or the property which belongs to the individual, that is the private property, individual property, and the land which belongs to all, that is the common property. Conservation of land resources are very much important because this growing population and their ever growing demands has led to a large scale destruction of forest cover and arable land, and has created a fear of losing this natural resource. So that's why whatever our demands are there, it means you just see the population, the growing population of India, that by 2030 or 2040 only it is estimated that we will cross the China also in population. So you can imagine that where the huge population of India will just live. Okay, if our population will just increase that much, from where we will get the food? Okay, because land will be not vacant, everything we will have to purchase. Therefore the present rate of degradation of land resources must be checked. Afforestation, that leads to the land degradation, because we used to cut down the trees. Okay, and it might be possible that the land which deforestation is the process, students, where we just used to cut down the trees. Afforestation is the replantation of the trees. Land reclamations, again we have to check the land, time to time we have to check the land and correct it, that is the land reclamation. Regulated use of chemical pesticides and fertilizers. So some measures are given over here that we have to just implement so that we can just conserve our land resources. So afforestation, the process to grow trees and plants in the vacant land, that is afforestation, opposite of deforestation. land reclamation, regulate use of chemical pesticides and fertilizers, and check on overgrazing are some of the common methods used to conserve lands. Next is when we talk about the soil. So soil is also very important part of our land. That is only land, no? So topsoil, subsoil, weathered rock and parent material, these are the division of soil. I am not talking about the types of soil. This is the division of the layer of soil. You can see the upper layer, topsoil, subsoil, bedrock also sometimes we used to say, weathered rock, and then after that parent rock material. You need to understand here, students, parent rock material, it means that remains same, that is the unchanged part of the rock, okay, from which it just formed, from which the soil just formed. Factors of soil formation, you can see climate is very much important factor. Just understand the climate of desert area, okay, there the arid soil are present. Then after that, flora and fauna, microorganism, check the forest soil, okay, that is rich in humus. Relief also just helps. Relief is also the factors affecting the soil formation. On mountains, different types of soil will form. On slopes, different types of soils will form. On northern plain, very fertile soil will just form. Parent rock material, it means if we take example of the lava soil or the black soil, so from where it is obtaining, from where it is forming, that is its parents are that lava or the magma, okay, by which it is just forming upside. So time is also affecting. Last is the time. Time is also affecting, one of the major factors affecting the soil formation. It takes long period of time to just make one sheet of soil. Degradation of soil. So soil erosion and depletion are the major threats to soil as a resource. Okay, both human and natural factors can lead to degradation of soil. Understand, this is talking about the soil erosion, students. When we talk about the degradation of soil, it means its quality is deteriorating either by just human beings or the natural factors. Sometimes natural factors are also responsible. Floods just carry away the fertile soil, that also damage the fertility of the soil. Sometimes our activities, economic activities or our daily activities also just remove the upper layer of the soil, and somehow we are just throwing the garbage and converting the soil as dumping yard. So these are creating the problem. So factors which leads to soil degradation, you can see deforestation, overgrazing, okay, overgrazing leads to the soil erosion. Deforestation also leads to the soil erosion. Overuse of chemical fertilizer or pesticides, rainwash, landslides and floods, these are also responsible. How we will conserve? Okay, conservation measures are there given: mulching, contour barriers, rock dam, terrace farming, intercropping, contour plowing and shelter belts. So these are some process by which we can just conserve the soil. So mulching, you can see mulching is the process. The bare ground between plants is covered with a layer of organic matter like straw. It helps to retain soil moisture. So that is the mulching process. When we talk about the contour barriers, so stones, grass, soils are used to build a barrier along contour, that is the contour barrier. Rock dam, we used to construct a barrier across the river or flow of water, that is rock dam. Terrace farming, you are very much familiar with the terrace farming, students, that on the mountains we used to practice the terrace farming. Intercropping means not leaving the land like this. We used to grow any type of crop. We don't just leave the land vacant, that is intercropping. Contour plowing, that is just in parallel only or on the slopes. We used to just do the farming by using the contour plowing. Shelter belts, that plantation of trees or plant at the edges of the ground or the field, that is the shelter belt. See in the image, you can see here terrace farming on the mountains. Then after that contour barriers, okay, contour plowing, rock dam and shelter belts. Next is the water. Water is very much essential, and this is the life supporting thing. Without this we cannot survive. As we have read that land is very important, in same manner water is also very essential for us. So it is written here, do you know in 1975 the consumption of water for human use was 3,850 cubic kilometer a year. It soared to more than 6,000 cubic kilometer a year in the year 2000. So day by day our demand is increasing for more and more use of water. We are consuming more water for different purposes. Next is, do you know a dripping tap wastes 1200 liters in a year? Many a time you just leave the tap open, okay, and drop by drop it used to just waste the water. So in this way, one data estimated that 1200 liters of water wasted in such a manner. Water is a vital renewable natural resources, students, because it can renew itself. Evaporation and condensation process, you already know. 3/4 of Earth's surface is covered with water. It is therefore appropriately called the water planet. Okay, Pacific Ocean is there, Indian Ocean is there, Atlantic Ocean is there, Antarctic Ocean is there. Okay, so these are the water bodies only. So you can understand that it is also known as water planet. It was in the primitive ocean that life began almost 3.5 billion years back. It is believed that life began from the water only. Fresh water accounts for only about 2.7%. Conservation of water resources are very much important. How to conserve the water? You can just apply your mind, students, that how to conserve the water. Okay, various process, simple steps if you will just take in your house, in your home only, so you can save lots of water by using bucket, by just closing the tap while you are not using the water. Okay, nowadays many new things just came, washing machine, then AquaGuard. These are also just wasting lots of water, so this thing also we need to keep in our mind. After that, natural vegetation and wildlife. You know that natural vegetation are those vegetation which grows naturally, okay, without any human interference, and wildlife supports the fauna. Okay, wildlife means the fauna. It means those animals who are living in the natural surroundings. Okay, so that is natural vegetation and wildlife. When we talk about the biosphere, so natural vegetation and wildlife exist only in the narrow zone of contact between the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere, that we call biosphere. So if you have to define the biosphere, this is the best definition, that it is a narrow zone of contact between the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere, and it supports life. In the biosphere, living beings are interrelated and interdependent on each other. For survival, this life supporting system is known as the ecosystem. It means the interdependency of living on non-living to support each other for the survival, that is the ecosystem. When we divide the natural vegetation, then it is the evergreen, deciduous, coniferous, many are there. Conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife is very much important, because if we will not just do so, we will just lose the balance of the nature. That's why this is very much important. Forest fire is biggest threat for the wildlife as well as the natural vegetation. Recently you have heard in news that Assam hits by flood, very violent flood, and that flood just killed lots of animals. It means it was compared with poaching, that in comparison of poaching, many animals are just killed by simple flood. That is the natural disaster. In glossary you can see some definitions are given. Weathering, this is the process of breaking up and decay of exposed rocks by temperature changes, frost, actions, plants, animals and man. Weathering means what? Removal of rock or the sand or soil from one place to another, or especially it is breaking up of rock, okay, by temperature, frost, plants and animal and man. National parks are area designated to protect the ecological integrity of one or more ecosystem for present and future generation. So national parks are those areas which are fenced and protected for These are giving the protection for the flora and fauna both, so that it will remain in the future also. When we talk about the biosphere reserves, it is series of protected areas linked through a global network intended to demonstrate the relationship between conservation and development. So biosphere, how the biosphere is different from national park, you can differentiate here. Okay, so this is the best example to show the relationship between conservation and development, because both just go hand in hand. Okay, conservation as well as development, because in biosphere and national parks, people used to come from far away to visit these areas. So this is developing the nation also by attracting the tourists as well as helping to preserve the wildlife, flora and fauna. So this is the end of the video, students. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much, and read the chapter once again from your side. Next chapter is mineral and power resources. That is easy to understand. Start reading that. Thank you very much, students. Thank you very much.